Hi, I'm Sabal from Wham Bam Systems. Today, I will be showing you how to create a very cool multimedia t-shirt using the Mutant. In case you didn't already know, the Mutant allows users to quickly and easily change their hot end out for any other hot end or tool. We will add links in the video description for Mutant resources. In this video, we will be using an old CR-10 with a Bondtech extruder and Slice Engineering hot end, and 3 different fabric markers to create our own custom Wham Bam t-shirt. You will need for this project a few sheets of paper, a t-shirt, preferably either white or very light color, some clips, our very own marker mount, which you can find a link for in the description and 3D print yourself, and a Wham Bam flexible build plate. Here's what we need to do to complete this project. First, we need to prepare our slicer, then slice the marker and TPU G-codes separately, then mount the build plate onto the printer and print our t-shirt. First, you'll need to prepare your 3D files. Make your file as a 3D object. Each color you want printed should be a separate body, only 1 layer tall and on the same file. Tip: when modeling a part for the marker printing, create all your 3D bodies 0.2 millimeters tall. This way, it'll only print 1 layer. Export your STL by selecting all the bodies and exporting. Export your TPU bodies to scale. We will then be slicing and sending TPU and marker files separately to the printer. Okay, let's get into how to slice your files. I will be using Orca Slicer for this project. If you are using any other slicer, the settings will be a little bit different. First, let's prepare the G-code for the fabric marker. You'll need to adjust the start G-code for your machine profile in your slicer. Under the Printer tab, select Edit Preset. Then, under the Machine G-codes tab, disable the M104 and M109 commands by putting semicolons in front of them. This comments them out, disabling them. Also, put an M302 P1 command, which we will need to do because the thermistor will not be plugged in. We will also have to comment out the purge lines, which are here and here, as they are unnecessary for marker printing. Now we're going to scroll down to the Change Filament G-code. Here we need to input these commands. Let's give this profile a name and save the machine profile as marker printing. Next, go to the Filament tab and select Edit Preset. The first thing we're going to want to do is turn off the temperature. Just click through all the error messages. Turn off the temperature for, yes, I want to do that. Turn off the temperature for the nozzle and the bed. There should be zeros in all of these boxes. Then in Settings Overrides, turn on retraction and have a 3 mm Z-hop. Save this profile as marker attachment. Lastly, under the Process tab, we're going to start with a standard 0.2 mm profile. The first thing you're going to want to do is change the line width. Start with 0.55 millimeters, but we may adjust this later. Also, we're going to increase the top and bottom solid infill wall overlap to 50%. We also have to make sure to turn off the skirt and the brim. And if you have Prime Tower enabled, make sure to disable it. Save this profile as marker printing. Okay, now we're ready to bring in our models. Go ahead and select all the models and import them. This logo is a bit too small for the build plate, so I'm going to scale it up. Please note that when I scaled it up, the height is still 0.2 millimeters, which will allow me to have one layer printed instead of multiple, which is what we want for marker printing. Then go ahead and add all the colors you need. In this case, I'll be printing in black, yellow, and orange, which are Wham Bam's colors. And I will be assigning each object to its appropriate color. All right, looks good. Let's slice it and export it. And that's it. Now let's slice our TPU part. So we're going to want to go back to our normal Creality, and we're going to create our TPU profile. So the most important thing you want to do with TPU is make sure that the flow is below 1, make sure that the temperature is in the mid to low range. So for this filament, we're going to do 210 to 220 because that's what it says on the roll, and we're going to have a heated bed. We also want to make sure that there's no cooling for the first layer, and that after the first layer, we want to have full fan speed to reduce stringing. Also, make sure there's very little retraction, 0.6. Make sure that there's no Z-hop, and make sure that we have a wipe on. Preferably 2 millimeters. Also, let's save this as TPU. Also, you're going to want to go to your standard 0.2 millimeter profile and go ahead and search avoid crossing walls. This will really prevent stringing. Avoid crossing walls, you want to turn that on, and you want to put it at very high number, like 600 millimeters. Okay, we're printing in orange. Go ahead and save this as TPU. And also, don't forget to turn off skirt and brim again. And that's it. There we go. Our TPU part is done. We're also going to have to turn off the purge line here too. Or you can go to the machine start G-code and just go ahead and turn off the purge line. Just uncomment it. TPU T-shirt. And then go ahead and slice it. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Now we've got our alien and our Wham Bam logo. Wham Bam alien. We're going to print these as two separate files and make sure they line up correctly. Now that we have our slicer instructions set up, we're going to put the t-shirt onto the printer. So you want to have your Wham Bam spring steel bed. Just go ahead and flip it over so it doesn't get damaged. Printer. So remember, try to keep that bottom, not have any fabric on it, and then just go ahead and line it up like that. Make sure that it's on correctly, kind of feel around. And then fold all the fabric over and put down okay, so you want to make sure that the shirt is reasonably taut, so when I press my finger down gently, as you can see, the shirt's scrunching up a little bit, so I want to make it just a little more tight. So go ahead and just adjust all the clips and pull the shirt a little bit. You kind of want to tuck the fabric under the build plate, but not where it's going to interfere with the rollers or motion system. Now I'm going to turn on the machine, level it, and you kind of want to level it so you get a nice squish with the TPU. I'll be using the normal paper method with the custom Wham Bam bed leveling G-code, you can check that out in the description below. Now that the bed is level, we're going to take the hot end off and replace it with our marker attachment. And we're going to put the yellow marker in, because that's the one we're starting with. Let's send the print one color at a time. The G-code will pause the print after each color is completed, allowing us to switch the pens out. When you're done printing with the markers, be sure to let them dry before touching it, because they tend to smudge. Now that we've got the Wham Bam logo onto the shirt, we're going to add this Bas Relief Wham Bam Alien in TPU also onto the shirt. So first thing we're going to do is turn off the machine and then swap out the tools to a hot end. And then turn back on the machine and print. And make sure you get a good squished first layer as well. That's it. That's how easy and simple it is. And look how cool this shirt is. Can't wait to see what other designs are possible with this process. Make sure to comment and link your creations in the description below. Thank you.